ID, call forwarding, call waiting, and call blocking.
I think it's time you cut the blue wire.
Cut the blue wire. Save up to $250 on your phone features with RevVoice. Get RevVoice. Save money.
It could take another 6 months before government rolls out the primary care phase of its NHI scheme. The F&M has found a Senate replacement for former Chairman Michael Pintard. With just weeks until Junkanoo Carnival is set to kick off, key details are still unknown. Plus, a local farmer is appealing to the government for help, claiming she's lost nearly everything, mainly because of them. Welcome to MV12. I'm Dana Smith. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, it could take up to as much as another 6 months for government to begin the rollout of its national health insurance scheme. This according to Health Minister Dr. Perry Gomez. While remaining very tight-lipped on specific details, Gomez said infrastructural upgrades as well as a few other things he didn't wish to mention were major factors in the delay. And in taking a step towards infrastructural upgrades, government signed a $2.6 million contract for the master plan of the Freeport community. Kyle Joaquin reports.
There are still a lot of questions lingering about the government's national health insurance scheme. And today, during a press conference at the PHA, the health minister spoke to a few of them. A week after the announcement that NHI's rollout would be delayed, we now have an idea as to how long that delay is expected to be.
As you know, it's been delayed. It'll be several months. I'm not sure exactly how long, but probably in around 6 months or so.
6 months. The government had initially set that rollout for April. However, according to the minister, the delay and the issuing of a tender for a third-party company to manage its public insurer were the recommendations of the consultants from KPMG in South Africa. This after professionals in the local medical and insurance industries have been calling for months for a delay. But when asked for more details, there was very little. And when asked how soon we could expect to see NHI legislation tabled in Parliament,
so many bills coming up, I don't know when it's coming, to be honest. But I would imagine the House is now adjourned for a month. So probably we'll see the schedule towards the end of that month.
But one thing Gomez acknowledged today was the need for upgrades to government infrastructure. And today, the Public Hospitals Authority signed a $2.6 million contract with the Beck Group to create a master plan for the Freeport Community Clinic. Minister of Grand Bahama, Dr. Michael Darble.
I'm advised that the Beck Group have also reached an advanced stage in their planning process for the redevelopment of the Princess Margaret Hospital. It is expected that both the new Freeport Community Clinic and the redevelopment of the Princess Margaret Hospital will meet the high expectations of the Bahamian people and the rigorous standards that will be imposed with the implementation of universal health care through the mechanism of national health insurance.
More significantly still is the fact that this heralds the first phase of our long-term development strategy to construct a modern hospital facility on the Greenfield site to eventually replace the current hospital in Freeport, Grand Bahama.
The Beck Group is the company that facilitated in the design of the critical care block of the Princess Margaret Hospital. The company's CEO, Fred Perpall, explained that there are expected to be just about 300 jobs provided during construction alone, and what else should come from the facility.
The contract is for $2.6 million and is for the complete master plan and architectural drawings and all inclusive of all consultants for the Freeport Community Clinic. It is not inclusive of the construction cost. We hope to have groundbreaking in September and hope to have a sort of fast track schedule so that we can implement as quickly as possible.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Thanks, Kyle. Well, president of the Free National Movement's Women's Association and former candidate for the South Beach constituency, Monique Gomez, has been appointed by opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis as the Senate's newest member. She'll be replacing former senator and party chairman Michael Pintard, who resigned from both posts amid the ongoing Nygaard-Bacon scandal. In a statement released today, Minnis said, "I am most confident that Ms. Gomez will serve our nation with distinction and provide exemplary service in the upper chamber of our legislature on behalf of all Bahamians." Gomez grabbed headlines earlier this year after Minnis gave Howard Johnson his blessing to run in South Beach after Johnson reportedly delivered an ultimatum. The decision sparked controversy, with some feeling as though Gomez had been overlooked. With the second annual Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival set to kick off in Grand Bahama in about 2 weeks and in New Providence in about a month, it's lousy that the government seems to have waited until the last minute to get things ready. This according to Dario Torelli, president of the Bahamas Carnival Band Association, who noted key details concerning the festival are still unknown.
It's a government agency. This is not new. This is how government operates for some reason. From a private perspective, it's lousy for you to wait till the last minute. You know, we had a year to plan this. We should have launched in August.
Last year's inaugural Junkanoo Carnival saw a massive cultural village at Arwak Key, soca sensation Michelle Montano as the headliner, and a government spend of more than $12 million to fund the event, despite an original $9 million budget. This year's carnival is set to take place in Grand Bahama on April 14th through the 16th, and in New Providence on May 5th through the 7th. However, Carnival still has no budget and no headliner, and Torelli said participants have been questioning the details.
It's very concerning and very frustrating because when you have to answer revelers who are coming in, persons who are, you know, we talk about heads in bed, persons who want to know what event is happening the week of Carnival. Are you guys going to be hosting? Are the government, you know, they say the government, they don't say the Festival Commission. Are the government putting on an event? Because internationally, you know, it's known that the government funded the first one, and they did an excellent job, I must say, hosting the first one. And so these persons are asking the question. I get 9 persons out of New York who signed up and already paid for costume. And the first question they ask, what events are going to happen? Are you guys going to host your event? Because we're not hearing anything.
Earlier this month, Tourism Minister O.B. Wilchcombe said a budget has still not been confirmed, telling our news team that's still being worked on with the Festival Commission. And it's this lack of a budget, Torelli said, that's a major concern to band owners.
I would hope that you guys would push the mic in the Prime Minister mouth to find out what they're doing. I was told that there was no budget allocated as yet, almost 2.5 weeks ago.
Torelli suggested that government needs to do a little more, explaining there's been a lull with the Festival Commission, but the carnival bands involved have been doing their part.
It's a lull in the market from the government perspective, from the Bahamas Festival Commission's perspective. However, bands are in the market, doing their marketing, doing their events, their Friday night functions, their Saturday night functions, their Sunday functions, Facebook, social media. All the bands, as I know, there are 26 bands, and I know most of the bands are doing their part to bring Carnival to the level of excitement as last year. Unfortunately, from the Festival Commission perspective, it's a big lull from their part.
An elderly woman says the farm she's cultivated for decades is in danger of being wiped out after the government allegedly made alterations to her property. Giorgio Bain has that story.
Thanks, Dana. After 13 years of farming, Bertha Lee Forbes has just about lost everything. As the fence has been removed from her farm, the public is now dumping on her land, and she's tragically lost all of her livestock. She's now appealing to the Minister of Agriculture for some answers. Forbes says the fence cost her hundreds of dollars to guard the 4.72 acres, and now she has had to reinforce the fences by hand all by herself. She must now travel all the way around to the western side of the island to access her property. Forbes says she has been requesting to purchase the land since 2012, but has not gotten any reply, leaving her forced to continue to lease the land, and now she thinks that this is a tactic to get the land back.
A day or two before the fence got taken down, the minister was out here to Mr. Bowe's farm. Well, it's no problem. But when I went out from here, and when I came back, I couldn't get in. I bogged in the road down there. They already had everything dig up and everything. I couldn't even get to my gate to get inside the yard. And I asked him what's happening. He told me that the minister told them to open the road on the side that my fence was on.
Forbes, who estimates that she has lost over $5,000 in livestock, says she cannot even begin to think how she can start over, as she is a poor elderly black woman who is only striving to survive.
I lost plenty. I lost 45 goats. I lost 17 pigs. I lost 28 peacocks. I lost 14 ducks. That's all I had, the white ones. I had the Bahamian ducks, the black and white ones. I had 150 peacocks, not peacocks, pigeons. I lost all of those. I lost goats, pigs, chickens, ducks, everything. That is over 5,000, maybe more, dollars. And I had to go without eating in order to get them, to try and get this farm the way it was. Now I got to start all over again, fresh.
Forbes says when she attempted to talk to the Minister of Agriculture, she was then referred to someone else who told her not to worry, but just to make sure she keeps farming. Forbes says now that the tractor has torn down the fence, there are huge boulders blocking the road that makes it impossible to pass. She has several vehicles that are now stuck on the farm, unable to utilize the roadway. Forbes called the alleged actions of the Minister of Agriculture disgusting.
All he tell me, oh, just let me see you farming, that's all. After I done lost all of that? Come on. I think it's disgusting.
And they said that you owe them, you're still
From-
paying on your lease.
Yeah, say I owe them from 2010. So they wouldn't take 2015 money from me. And I don't owe them from 2010. Now someone in there is stealing. They need to check that out and find out who that is.
Since the fence has been removed, Forbes says the amount of theft is alarming, as people are now even stealing her trees. She says she has these final words for the Ministry of Agriculture.
If they want the property back, pay me for everything I have on there, everything I've lost off there, including the house, and they can have it.
Forbes says she is begging the Minister of Agriculture to please assist in clarifying this matter. However, all attempts to reach the minister up to news time were unsuccessful. Reporting for NB12, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Thanks, Giorgio. When NB12 returns, Lyford Key resident Peter Nygaard accuses the official opposition and others of injuring his reputation. Stay with us.